What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, but we are back here with some more rebuilds, and of course, we are finally starting the new look rebuild series. I'm tired of waiting around to see if more things will happen. Clearly, things aren't happening anymore, so let's just go ahead and get it started. So I'll explain all the parameters once we jump in the video, but I'm probably going to try to do the teams that seem like they're fully done at the beginning and still give some of these teams that might still do stuff some time to maybe do things as we go along in this series. But today, we're going to be starting with the Orlando Magic. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated, especially drop a like if you're excited for this new look rebuild series. So to get into the parameters, of course, so each video, I think I'm going to title it like 5-year rebuild. So the minimum we can go in these videos is 5 years. Now, I could do 10 years, but in my personal opinion, and I don't know if people agree with me on this, I feel like the longer you go out to like 10 years, 2K just gets kind of crazy. Like everyone's just juiced up like crazy. Everyone's just so damn good that it's just kind of crazy. I don't know. It's overwhelming in a way. So we're going to do at least 5 years. We might do more than that, but basically that's going to give us, in videos like with the Lakers and the Warriors where Steph and LeBron are going to retire, we need to figure out a different game plan basically. But like I said, for the Magic, we got a wide window of 5 years to try to get this team a championship. Of course, we're still going to go at least those 5 years. But it would be great to get them a championship very early on. So we got to go to at least like the 2029 season. So we can do that. But let's start with what the Magic have done this offseason. So they didn't do like the amount I would kind of hope they would. So what they did was basically resign everybody that, they gave Mo Wagner a new contract. They gave Jonathan Isaac a new contract. The big addition, of course, is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, which is something they definitely needed. I also thought they could use a perimeter shot creator though as well that's in the backcourt. They did not really get that, but maybe someone develops into that on their team. Regardless though, for this first off season or for this first season in general for most of these videos, I'm not going to be doing anything to start things off. I simply just want to see what 2K thinks of the roster before we try to, put our own fingerprints on what we should do going forward. So we're going to start with seeing how the Magic will do in the 2K simulation with what they've done in real life, which, like I said, KCP and a lot of re-signs. So we are also using Joda Kelmer's share scenario for this one. He just updated it today, and I put some of my own spins and settings on the settings he shares. So, yeah, so I don't exactly have all the settings he had. But regardless, this is what we got. So we have Cole Anthony, KCP, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Wendell Carter. So I can absolutely agree with these four right here, but I do believe I would assume Jalen Suggs starts. I think Jalen Suggs will start. Then Jonathan Isaac. I guess you could technically start Isaac at the 5 as well, because that was kind of happening during the playoffs. Anthony Black off the bench, Mo Wagner, and then Goga Bitadze, who someone they also re-signed, and they re-signed Gary Harris. You have Tristan da Silva. So yeah, this bench is absolutely deep. It's gonna be very hard to get everybody minutes here, but we're gonna try to make it work. So first and foremost, let's move Jalen Suggs to. I guess he already is at point guard. He just isn't starting. So let's make Cole Anthony a non-starter. This might still put Anthony Black in, but I do want to start Jalen Suggs. I think he would probably be the more than likely be the starter for Orlando. So we'll do that with Cole Anthony. So that should put Suggs there. Hopefully, yeah, it does. So Jalen Suggs, that's the starting five we want to roll with. I think that's probably what it will be in real life, I imagine. But Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, Anthony Black, Mo Wagner, and Goga Bitadze. So that leaves Gary Harris and Tristan da Silva out of the rotation. Now, unfortunately, I think we could put, well, Tristan da Silva, what was he? He was the 18th overall pick. I mean, maybe we run 11 deep. I don't usually do this, but it feels like you got to give da Silva some minutes here, and that leaves Gary Harris out of it. I hate leaving Gary Harris out as well, so we'll probably do something like this. I'm going to try not to use G League for some of these first-round picks, so that's usually not what happens, but we could do a Jet Howard to send to the G League, so that's probably what we'll do, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and simulate year number 1. We're going to see how things go without me touching anything. I messed with the rotation myself, of course, but outside of that, I just want to see how the team does now that KCP has been brought in. Let's see if this Magic team makes the playoffs this year. I probably won't stop at the deadline either. I kind of just want to see what this team accomplishes, and then in the offseason is really when we can start to figure out what we're doing next. Today's video is brought to you by 2 softwares that are designed to help you beat the sportsbook and be a much profitable sports bettor. So let's go ahead and start with DGF's Optimizer. So they've primarily focused on the DFS apps, which are super popular nowadays, such as Prize Picks, Underdog, Parlay Play, Better, all kinds of features on DGF as well. They have a middling tool and an AI slip generator. So basically, this is the main product right here, which is the DFS Optimizer. And what it does, it compares discrepancies across sports books. Now, I will tell you right now, I think baseball just went on a break, and there's no other props besides esports right now, so I don't really have like a great example for you. But basically, how it works is it compares discrepancies, and as you can see, esports is such a market that's like so like the lines are so different from each book because they all set their own lines independently. But for example, on Prize Picks under 18, because another data point, Hot Streak has it at 15.5. So clearly, it would make sense to take the over on Hot Streak and then take the under on Prize Picks. So yeah, basically that's kind of how it works. You compare discrepancies. But like I said, not a ton of good examples on the board at the moment because kind of late at night and baseball is about to be on a break as well. So there's no baseball props. I don't know if WNBA is tomorrow, but yeah, there's no good examples. But another tool that I absolutely love is the positive EV tool over on OddsJam. And basically this tool, while they do have a fantasy optimizer just like DGF, this primarily focuses on the sports books such as like FanDuel, DraftKings, and once again, not really any great examples on the board. These are some tennis plays. But basically to show you how it works is whatever this means. I don't really know much about tennis, obviously. But basically, if you look at this, we don't need to know about the sport. We just need to know the numbers here. And as you can see on Fliff, you're going to get your best price taking the over 9.5 first set total games on Fliff at minus 125. Well, every other book, I guess you could get it on Fanatics as well at minus 125. But you have like DraftKings and FanDuel at minus 150, minus 152, and ESPN Bet at minus 130. But clearly, the best price here to take it is either on Fliff or Fanatics. Just basically based off, the price point. So basically, it's just like if you're buying a car, you're going to go buy it the cheapest place possible. And I absolutely love these softwares. I'm up $365 on the month right now. If I remember show a screenshot, I will. But I'm doing very, very well. And it's been like that all year for me. Other than January, I got my ass kicked. We've been doing good all year. So make sure you guys check out these softwares. Links are down in the description below. Use code Crushables for some percentages off when you first sign up. Other than that, let's get back to the video. So at the end of year one, Shea wins MVP, and here is all your awards. Now, very unfortunately and very disappointingly, 2K did not like this Magic team, which I'm surprised by because I feel like in the past, things have gone fairly well when I see the Magic in simulations, but for whatever reason, this team just did not get it done. We had 22 from Paulo, 17 from Franz. They just paid him as well. I didn't mention at the beginning, but yeah, Paulo and Franz are clearly the two forwards they're going to be building around. Maybe they eventually split those two up, but more than likely, we'll probably keep these two together throughout the video. Cole Anthony was 16. KCP, the new addition, with 13.5. 11 from Wendell Carter. 10 from Suggs. 7 from Mo Wagner. 7 from Isaac. And then 6 from Anthony Black. But something just wasn't going well. And clearly, we need to make a move off of that. But let's go ahead and see who goes on to win the championship. So the Knicks, with Jalen Brunson, who just took a massive pay cut, still going to eliminate in the conference finals. And the Hawks, of all teams, go on to win it all. So that is very interesting to start the video. Phoenix also making the finals is pretty crazy. But here are all your retirements. A lot of interesting players retiring here. You got Chris Paul, LeBron, Kyle Lowry, Al Horford, Conley, Eric Gordon, all calling it a career. If we go to staff retirements, doesn't really affect us here. But I guess we are back in the lottery. We ended up as like the 4-team seed, which is very disappointing, like I said. But I guess if we can find a way to add a really good player to this team, we'll be right back in the mix. So whatever. So let's see how this lottery goes. And I'm assuming we have our pick this offseason. I know. Okay, so we do. So we're projected the 7th best odds at number 1. Obviously, it would be amazing if we could find a way to jump up and be, in the top 4 or whatever. But let's just kind of see what happens. So we're going to be number 9. All right. So with that, I think we make a trade. Like, yeah, we could draft at number 9. But I think I'd like to dangle this 9 pick and try to get some value out of it. We also have Denver's pick at 29. But I want to go for a perimeter shot creator. As much as I like the KCP edition, I think if we could ideally move Suggs to the shooting guard spot to be that like perimeter defender 3-and-D guy, and then kind of have whatever shot creator we can go get, be in the backcourt at point guard. I know I've mentioned in the past like Anthony Simons to Orlando sounds like a match made in heaven. I probably won't do that today, but we're going to go get somebody like that. I don't know where we're going to get it from. We're going to check out all of these teams, see who's selling, who's rebuilding. Jamal Mosley would definitely be a fired candidate after having a disappointing season like that. But I think I'll keep him just because I feel like that was just 2K being 2K for this first season. But like I mentioned, we are absolutely going to go look at all of our options and see if we can find a way to turn this around very quickly and get someone in the building to put them around Paulo and Franz and get this thing back on the right track. So I absolutely scanned the trade market to see what we could potentially go get, and there was pretty much only one guard that I liked the idea of bringing over, and I wanted it to make sense, of course. I wanted the team to be in a bad position, so it made sense for them to trade him away. And it's another team that's, like I said, Anthony Simons absolutely would be a match made in heaven, I think, for Orlando. I did that in the video in the past. I'm going to go ahead and go different, and they actually got the 3rd seed as well, so they were good, so maybe they wouldn't consider trading him. Of course, seeing Steph would be amazing. Malcolm Brogdon, Poole are not really what I'm looking for, but clearly this is probably our best option to go get. Now, if Cleveland would have been bad, getting Garland in here would have been a lot of fun, but we're not going that route because they're contending. It's going to be hard to convince them to trade him away. We could go get Harden, but I don't really want to do that. So to get to the point on who we're going to go for, because it's like the only team that sucked and maybe would move off of them if, you know, this did occur, and that is Sacramento. So De'Aaron Fox also is about to get paid. Now, they did just recruit DeMar DeRozan. Did he just retire on them, or is he just... what happened to him? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. DeRozan, he did retire after 1 year. Very not realistic, I think, but whatever. He retired, so I guess if that was the case, maybe he had some injury that caused him to retire. I don't know. But obviously, injuries are off. But let's just say hypothetically he did, and Sacramento just, you know, missed the playoffs. Maybe they'd be fine with moving off De'Aaron Fox and going towards another rebuild, which is... probably something Kings fans would not want to hear, but we are going to try to add De'Aaron Fox to this Orlando team. I think he's absolutely the best guy we could go get right now, and we need something like this to push this team in contention while we should... I mean, this is our window right now. Let's go for it. So, how do we do this is the question. I mean, we got plenty of assets to offer them, so that's not really a problem necessarily. It's just a matter of what we offer to them. So, KCP's contract we could offer, you know, kind of for salary fill in this trade. Probably you're going to need his salary in this trade. So KCP, of course, is not the main, you know, or maybe Isaac. They wouldn't mind Jonathan Isaac as well. So maybe we do Isaac's salary. So Isaac's salary in here. Now, I think De'Aaron Fox would cost quite a bit. Don't get me wrong. Especially if he was, you know, committed to re-signing with Orlando. If he got traded there, I think it would cost, you know, a fortune. So maybe not a fortune, but quite a bit. So we start with Cole Anthony, and then Jonathan Isaac, and a first. I do think Anthony Black is someone who could absolutely be in this trade as well. Unfortunately, as of right now, his contract, of course, you know, I wish 2K had fixed it to where it can accept options before the draft, because it happens all the time. So, start with Anthony Black in here, Cole Anthony, and then we could use... so we either have to have like Isaac or Mo Wagner for salary filler. Maybe I'll do Mo Wagner. That might piss off friends, but whatever. So 9th overall. We go to Sacramento, and we try to get De'Aaron Fox. Now, some people might think this is an overpay, but we're trying to think about real life and what getting a star costs. It costs quite a bit. So I think, you know, having these two guys in here, the 9th overall pick in this draft, maybe offer 29 as well, and then a future first, which is maybe like your own in 2027. I don't think that's too crazy, and I think that'd be a pretty solid package to get in return if you're Orlando. You get two guys that, or if you're Sacramento, I should say, there'd be two guys, you know, that are pretty cheap still. Anthony Black still has another year on his rookie deal after this. Mo Wagner just salary filler. You get the 9th pick in this stacked draft class. Let's do it. So we're going to get De'Aaron Fox, and I think he's the perfect guy we kind of needed here in Orlando. So I absolutely love that way of starting this video. So we're going to move Suggs to shooting guard now. He's going to play the shooting guard spot while Fox is in the backcourt. You know, Fox has definitely improved from 3. Still not like the most knocked... I meant to do that with Suggs, my bad. So, still not the like most knockdown shooter in the world, but he's definitely good enough from out there that I think this is still solid. So, let's move Suggs to secondary position point guard is what I was trying to do. All right, I like where we're at now. So, Fox, we got Jalen Suggs. KCP is still here. Gary Harris is here at the moment. You got Franz, Tristan De Silva. So, maybe he would have had to be in the trade as well. That would have made some sense. Paulo, Isaac, and then Wendell Carter and Goga Badotze. So, I still feel pretty solid about that. We did a couple second rounders. I'm going to let my assistant GM take care of them. So we get Freddie Dillon and John Bull in the second round. So we'll sign both of them. Paulo, Jet, and Caleb Houston. And yeah, Paulo's had like one more year on his rookie contract. So it made all the sense in the world to try to go for Fox now, while you don't have to pay Paulo Banchero. And Suggs is not going to want that much money, which is fantastic. I think getting him for like $17 million a year would be phenomenal value if you're Orlando. So we'll absolutely sign with that. I love where we're at. So this is looking good. So now we have Fox. It is going to get expensive once we pay Paulo, of course, but, you know, we'll have, like, KCP come off the books, so that'll definitely help out a lot. But I like it. So, now we basically just need a point guard, a backup point guard, and we should be solid. So, who do we want? So, we want to sign Davion Mitchell. We can get Trey Jones, which I actually kind of like the idea of. So, we're going to sign Trey Jones to a nice little deal. and he could be our backup point guard, and that is a beautiful offseason if you ask me. So, second year plan already going to exactly where we want to go. We wanted to improve the team. We get a secondary star here in Orlando, in De'Aaron Fox, and I love where this team is about to be, hopefully next season. Hopefully as soon as possible, we turn this ship around, because missing the playoffs was unexcusable. If we would have had like a high top 4 pick, I probably would have just drafted, but I think going for De'Aaron Fox, using a 9th overall pick, is absolutely the way we needed to go about this video, and I love it. So, now, does 2K love it? Is going to be the ultimate question. So, let's see how this is going. So, Pyrie's going to land us 8th overall, so that's a good sign. We're 4.5 balance, so that seems to work out as well. But this starting 5 is magnificent. I love it. So, Fox, Suggs. We also had a depth problem, or not a depth problem. We have too much depth problem, I think. So, it feels kind of good to maybe get rid of some depth. That way, we're not, leaving someone out of the rotation that shouldn't be left out. But Fox, Suggs, Franz Wagner. We might still run into that problem, though. Paul Banchero, Wendell Carter, Trey Jones, Jonathan Isaac, Jet Howard, KCP, and Tristan Da Silva, and Goga Badotse. So that leaves Gary Harris out of the rotation. Unfortunately, I think this year I'll run a 10-man rotation. So that's going to leave Goga and Gary Harris out of the rotation, which I feel bad about. But, I mean, there's just too much talent. So we'll see how the season goes. I do want to make sure Fox shot tendency is appropriate, which it is, and so is Paulo's. That's awesome. So those two guys need to score the ball at will, which is going to be fun. Can't wait to see how we do this year. Hopefully, we turn this ship around, and this time we're back in the mix in a contender in the East. And hopefully, Fox is willing to sign an extension at the deadline. That would be ideal. Get him locked up, and we got ourselves maybe a contending team for the next, whatever years we keep going in this video. So we are stopped at the trade deadline, and we see something absolutely beautiful. We wanted to see Fox wanting to re-sign, and we are absolutely going to lock him up for the next 4 years. So he's going to sign an extension to stay in Orlando, which is phenomenal. Wendell Carter is also asking for an extension as well. I mean, he's at 84 overall, might even get better than that as well, but he's averaging 10 and 9 and 37% from 3. It's not very common in the NBA. Like, I definitely think you lock that up as well. Guys are coming in and shooting more threes, but to have a center shooting 37% from 3, I don't know how many he's taking, but still phenomenal. This team is about to get very expensive, so we are going to be a secondary team very, very soon. But with KCP coming off the books, that should help out a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So we're going to go ahead and keep going. We're going to have 3 max players on the roster now with Fox, Franz, and Paulo once this offseason comes. But we're having a good season so far, so I'm absolutely comfortable with re-signing Fox and Wendell Carter and extending both of them and locking them up for multiple years on end. At the end of year 2, Jokic wins MVP. Another Nikola wins Rookie of the Year and wins 6th man. Wow, Nikola's are dominating the awards this year. I got defensive player going to AD, Jose Alvarado most improved, and Steph's your clutch player, and Mark's your coach of the year, and Brandon Harrison is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, All-NBA third. Do we have any Magic players here? I don't think I saw any, but just wanted to check just in case. Nope. Here's our rookie first team and all rookie second team. So Da Silva, I know he got some minutes, or I guess he played last year. Never mind. All right, so we ended up as the 5th seed in the East. So that is exactly where we want to be, which is fantastic. We love that. But yeah, 25 from Paulo, 19 from Fox, 17 from Franz. Yeah, 12 from Jet Howard, which is nice to see. 11 from Jalen Suggs, 11 and 9 from Wendell Carter, 9 from Trey Jones, and 7 from Jonathan Isaac. So let's go to a 9-man rotation, and let's see if we can cause some damage in these playoffs and make a second-round appearance. We got Brooklyn in front of us. So at this point, they have signed Josh Giddey. They've drafted Ace Bailey. They got Jalen Duren with Claxton. They have Dorian Finney-Smith still, Nolan Traore, Derek Whitehead, Noah Clowney, and Shake Milton. So a solid team. Josh Giddey is very good in 2K, 16 and 7. Nothing too crazy. Ace Bailey averaged 14 his rookie year. Cameron Johnson 17. Bones Highland's averaging 16. So they just kind of have a bunch of the middle of the road guys. But hey, they're a higher seed than us, so all respect to them. But hopefully we do not lose to them. And we're down 3-2. I don't think this is a team we should be struggling against, but for whatever reason, this Brooklyn team is good. So, I mean, I guess we just have to deal with it. But we might get eliminated in round 1 by this Brooklyn team. And I don't think we have any business to losing to them, but here we are anyway. So Josh Giddey, Bones Highland, and Cameron Johnson eliminated us. Yeah, that kind of sucks, not going to lie. But sometimes, man, 2K just loves these weird teams, and we get bounced. Not a great feeling, but you got Cleveland and Oklahoma City, and the Cavs go on to win the championship. Garland is your Finals MVP. So you have Brook Lopez, Durant, Harden. So Durant, or sorry, I read that differently. I thought Durant retired a Raptor. I'm like, how did that happen? Nope. Brook Lopez retired a Raptor. All right, well, let's get to the lottery again. So I think this offseason, unfortunately, I hate to do it, but I think we're going to fire. And we got Phoenix's pick at number 7, which is kind of nice. So, yeah, we can definitely. Does Orlando really have Phoenix's pick in 2027? I did not know that. I'll have to double check that. But I think we have to fire Jamal Mosley. Not that I wanted to, but this isn't working. So, we're just going to blame the coach for now and hope things turn around. We're going to try to get a good coach this offseason. So, we'll offer as many. So I think we can get Will Hardy. Usually have pretty good success getting him, and he's got a lot of badges, good grades. So we'll start there. We'll try to get a new head coach in the building. Maybe get Tom Thibodeau as well. Let's see. So we're going to get Will Hardy, so I'll take that. So Will Hardy, and like I said, apparently we have the 7th overall pick. I definitely want to double check on that. I know Phoenix and Orlando made some weird trade involving like Phoenix having access to draft picks sooner or something like that, or I can't remember exactly what it was. But we're going to go double check on that, and then KCP. Let's see. So Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has, I don't know if it's a player. Oh, it's a player option. So he probably will accept that more than likely. But yeah, let me double check that 7th overall pick. I will more than likely draft with it if it is ours, but I'm not sure it is. It probably is though. Let me check. Okay, so yeah, I do think we get to keep this pick. So basically, it sounds like the Magic have the option to swap 2026 first-round picks with the Suns, but it's the less favorable of the Suns and Wizards picks. So it sounds like they can only swap with the less favorable of Suns and Wizards, but as you can see, the Wizards got number 1, so it wouldn't make really much sense for, or the Magic I don't think could do that anyway. If I'm reading this correctly, I think I am. So yeah, we absolutely get to own the 7th pick because it is the less favorable of Phoenix and Washington. So we get a lottery pick, which is fantastic. So let's jump in and see what we get at pick 7. So we got a new head coach. Now we can draft a new young player in the building and keep building up our rapport with all these young guys. So AJ would have been awesome. I've still been trying to get him in videos. I just have not had luck getting him. So I am going to take Koa here out of Michigan, bring in another forward in the building. Why not? Again, I'm going to let my assistant GM take care of the 2nd round picks. So we got Ojman and Carlton. I'm going to sign Ojman to a 2-way. And then player options, Tristan Silva. I mean, I don't think we're just going to accept that or decline that. Would be kind of weird. John Bull, so KCP, you know, kind of figured to accept his player option, which he did. And Paulo, yeah, obviously, we're going to resign him, no questions asked. So Gary Harris probably won't bring him back, but we are going to resign Paulo. And yeah, we're about to be a very expensive team. KCP accepting his option definitely hurt us a little bit, but we are going to sign Paulo back, and that will be fantastic. So yeah, I don't believe we should have any access to an MLE. So yeah, we're definitely over the 2nd apron by a mile, like a mile and a half. KCP, like I said, his option definitely hurts that quite a bit. Goga's money comes off the book. So we might have to just run it back with the team we have currently right now and just kind of hope player progression works out, because this team is at a point where we can't do anything to improve, which is not necessarily a bad thing because we just drafted our draft pick, which is fantastic. You know, I would love to probably upgrade the backup 5 spot, but I think we have to wait till next offseason to do that. So we're about to go into year 3. We could technically trade out KCP's contract. We just can't take back more money. And we got to make sure we trade it to a team that's also not over 2nd apron. So, I mean, we could try with KCP. So let's see if KCP gets us anything. This will be the 3rd season. So Herb Jones, Malik Beasley, Wagner, and De'Anthony Melton, Draymond Green. So, again, we can't aggregate contracts because we're well over the 2nd apron. Maybe revisit this at the deadline, but our offseason, not very eventful. We get Koa Pete, which is fantastic, but outside of that, you got Jet Howard developing, Franz, and Wendell Carter going up by 1, which I don't think they really moved at all, but 2K just says they did, so whatever. But we're going to go again. Hopefully another year with Fox and Paulo teamed up. Things will go a little bit differently this year. Getting eliminated in round 1 by that Brooklyn team really, really sucked. But we go into year 3 with, you know, really good expectations, hopefully anyway. So, here we go. Fox, Suggs, Franz, Paulo, Wendell Carter, Jet Howard, Trey Jones, Koa Pete, Jonathan Isaac, and Tristan De Silva. So, we got a lot of forwards in the rotation, but, you know, that's kind of where the NBA is trending anyway. And that leaves KCP completely out of the rotation, which, you know, kind of sucks. I don't know. It feels awful, but, I mean, there's just guys better than him. So, we'll leave it like that. Like I said, I will try to revisit the idea of trading him at the deadline to see if we can get, like, maybe a different player in the building. Other than that, let's see how the season goes, and hopefully we have a fantastic season with Will Hardy, which, by the way, our proficiency, still 4.5. So this team is loved by 2K. Last year didn't go well in the playoffs, but hopefully this year will be different. Year number 3 comes to an end, and it went extremely well. Luka wins MVP, Harrington Rookie of the Year, Isaiah Jackson 6th man, Chet Defensive Player, Dylan Harper Most Improved in Houston, Kobe White, clutch player, and Will Hardy is your coach of the year. We went 61-21. As you can see, things went extremely well, which is amazing. Harrison is your executive, but I'm assuming we might get somebody on an All-NBA team. It would be cool, but I don't see it. So that's disappointing, but it is what it is. What can you do about it? We do get, we get Koa Pete on our All-Rookie second team, which is fantastic. We just wrapped him with that Phoenix pick. He ends up with 11 points per game, so he contributed right away as we end up as the first seed in the East. So beautiful stuff. Here were your player stats. You had 23 from Paulo, 19 from Fox. You had 17 from Jet Howard. So Jet Howard is really killing it right now. 46% from 3. Holy moly, this man is going off. Yeah, he's definitely a huge part of what we're doing now. Franz Wagner, 15. 12 from Wendell Carter, and then 11 from Koa Pete, and then 11 from Jalen Suggs. So let's go to 9-man rotation for these playoffs. That gives Koa Pete some more minutes, but Jet Howard's definitely got to be a big part. Isaac's contract, of course, isn't expiring, but yeah, so he's making like $16 million a year. De Silva kicks him out of rotation, I guess, for the playoffs, but you'll have Goga and KCP come off the books. But let's talk about that once we, get past these playoffs. Now, getting a championship in year 3 would be amazing. I definitely think it's possible. We got eliminated in round 1 last year. I think getting to round 2 would be a huge accomplishment. I don't know how long it's been since Orlando has won a series, but I definitely imagine it's been a while. So somebody current round against Milwaukee, and we are going to beat them in 5. So we do get finally a playoff series under our belt and win one. We beat the Bucks in 5 games, and now we draw the Bulls, who have Ivy and Levine still. Oubre, Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic, Kobe White, Lonzo, Trey Murphy, Bozales, Zach Edey, and Jalen Smith. So this team is just all over the place. Like, how on earth did they get some of these guys? But I'm hoping we can beat them and get to the conference finals, I should say. So let's beat them in the second round. Conference finals in year 3 would feel fantastic, and we are going to make it to the conference finals. Now we get to play the team that eliminated us last year in round 1, and that is the Brooklyn Nets. So they got Nolan. This team is getting really good, though. Not going to lie. Duran and Claxton is an amazing center rotation, obviously. But yeah, Nolan's getting better. Ace Bailey's getting better. Josh Giddey, Tobias Harris is here now. Wouldn't surprise me this team gave us problems again. It's a weird team, but they got a lot of interesting players. But somebody come around has worked so far, so let's try that again. And we're down 3-1. Of all teams, I did not expect Brooklyn, with this kind of roster that they have, is going to be our kryptonite today. But it's looking like that might be the case. They're like our new Thunder, I guess. But we are going to at least win this one. Now, if we can win the next one as well, we go to a Game 7, which makes things very interesting. We start off very good. Well, I guess it tied first quarter. Back and forth game to force this Game 7, and Brooklyn starting to run away with the lead, and we are going to lose in Game 6 to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn, of all teams, is the one giving us problems, which is very interesting. Part of me thinks it's because of that center rotation. I don't know why 2K makes the Pistons get rid of Jalen Duran every year. It literally makes zero sense, man. I mean, that's the only reason I feel like we're losing this. So you got Nets and Nuggets, and the Nets go on to win it all. Jokic wins Finals MVP regardless, but Brooklyn swept them, and he still won Finals MVP, which is just insanity. But all right, well, Brooklyn is our kryptonite today, so we got to figure out how do we beat the Brooklyn Nets, which is something I did not think I'd be asking myself. And they're about to get better because they have Philadelphia's pick, apparently. It does fall to 5, so I guess that's good at least. And then I think our pick is going somewhere else. So our pick is going to the Kings from the Fox trade. But yeah, we are going to have some money come off the books this offseason, which is amazing. But clearly a must re-sign for us is going to have to be Jet Howard. The man is shooting 46% from 3. You absolutely re-sign that. We have a few seconds, but honestly, I think it'd be best to ship these for future seconds. I don't really have the roster capacity to add more this roster right now, so we're going to ship those for more seconds in the future. I don't know. Do I decline Tristan? No, that doesn't happen. We're not going to decline him. We're not going to decline him, but I don't know if he'll play next year is the problem, because we're about to resign Jet Howard. I mean, we cannot let 46% from 3 walk away. That's just insanity if you do. He shot 308 threes last year and made 46% of them. You absolutely resign that. That is rare. I don't think that, I mean, has there been anybody that's averaged 4? I'm sure there is. I just can't really think about it at the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, Jet Howard is a must resign. No questions asked. So we're going to try to get him for, I guess, as cheap as we possibly can. So we're going to get Jet Howard on a deal. We are absolutely not resigning any of these guys here. We're going to kind of evaluate where we are money-wise now that we've resigned Jet Howard and kind of what we're going to do with the rotation. So, all right, so backcourt, don't really have any depth there. So we have plenty of forwards, which is why I was kind of debating on Tristan De Silva. We clearly just added Koa Pete to the building. Isaac, maybe we move Isaac to backup center, although he doesn't rebound that much in 2K, it looks like. So maybe that's not a great idea. Okay, so where are we at as far as the apron is concerned? Because, I mean, we are $219 million. It's hard to tell what the apron will be in the year of 2027, but we can still try to make things work here, trying to operate around it. So I think we move Isaac this offseason, use his contract. We move one of these guys to power forward, and then we live with the results, and we get like a good backup center in the building. I think that's what we should do. That's where I'll go with it. But yeah, I definitely need to do the math on what the second apron would be in 2027, or what the projection would be at least. I think it goes up. I need to double check on this. Like, I know this cap goes up and, you know, by 10% every year, but does that mean the second apron does too? I don't know. I'll have to look at that. But for now, we're going to try to trade Isaac out for maybe a new center in the building. And that's kind of where I'm going to try to, you know, turn this team around a little bit. So unfortunately, I couldn't really find a trade for Jonathan Isaac. So we're just going to simply resign Trey Jones in free agency to be our backup point guard and run it back again. I'm going to stop at the deadline to hopefully find a new trade. But yeah, Isaac, I'm just going to play him at the backup 5 for now. Not the most ideal thing in the world, but that's just kind of where we're at the moment. So that's what we'll run with. We'll try to trade him at the trade deadline to see if we can get a new center in town, a backup 5 that's a more traditional backup center. But yeah, that's where we're at. So unfortunately, couldn't really make the move we wanted to. But this is year number 4, so we have another year. Obviously, like I said, we can still go over 5 years. It's not like we only have 5 years to do this, but we got the first seed last year. Brooklyn is the problem that we have at hand, and it's like I said, I do believe it's because of their center rotation. Although, I have to say, did they lose Durant? No, they didn't. I thought I saw Durant was a free agent, but he's, I guess he's still here. And Ace Bailey's gotten better for them, so there's still going to be a problem. But yeah, Fox, Suggs, Franz, Paulo, Wendell Carter, Jet Howard, Koa Pete, Trey Jones, Tristan Silva. So that leaves Isaac completely out of the rotation, I guess. I think I'll play him over Tristan Silva as much as I feel bad about it. But yeah, we'll run with that. I'll see how this season goes. More than likely, I will try to upgrade our backup 5 spot because that's going to be like a huge important step, I think, to maybe dealing with Brooklyn. Because rebounding is such an important thing in 2K that I think that could maybe be the difference. If we can get a good backup center that rebounds like crazy, we should maybe have an edge on Brooklyn. At least my hope is that's the case. So as promised, I wanted to stop at the deadline to try to get a different backup center, and we are absolutely doing that with the Clippers. We're going to try to get Ivica Zubac from the Clippers here. So I'm going to try to make it just a bunch of seconds to see if we can make this happen, and they do agree. So just like that, 3 seconds and Isaac for Zubac is a done deal. So that gives us a really good backup 5, which is what I wanted to find. And I think he'll be a little bit of a different, different look than Wendell Carter. So I love that for us. And Isaac is now gone. We got our traditional backup 5, and we'll see if that makes a difference. I'm hoping it does. I know Zubac is a terrific rebounder in 2K. I believe he's averaging double digits right now, which is fantastic. Very, very close to it. But all right, let's keep simulating. 32-18 on the season. Hopefully, this is the year we get over the hump and win a championship. So Shea with another MVP award in this video. Coach Leader is not going to go to us this year. That's going to go to the Thunder. And I still don't think we've had... Oh, we finally get it. Paul Bencaro makes an All-NBA third team. 24-9. Love to see that. We got the third seed in the East. And it looks like we would run into the Nets very early if, we see them in the second round. But, yeah, 24 from Paulo, 21 from De'Aaron Fox, 16 from Franz. You had 14 from Koa, and then 14 from Jet Howard. 11 from Jalen Suggs, 9 from Zubac with 9 rebounds, and 8 and 9. And Trey Jones with 4 and 3 off the bench. So... we are going to take this to an 8-man rotation. Actually, let's leave it at 9-man. Let's just strengthen the bench utilization maybe by 5. That's going to leave Trey Jones getting some minutes. But, man, I feel like we're extremely close to maybe making this happen. We get the Knicks in round 1, who have obviously built themselves a good team in their own right. And they still have pretty much that same roster. Jalil Howard's been added. They still have Deuce McBride. Jordan Walsh is now on the team. They still have Jalen Brunson, Mikal OG, Randall Robinson. So definitely going to be a tough task. But, I guess they weren't a problem. And we finally don't have to deal with Brooklyn. So Charlotte ended up sweeping them, though. So maybe they do that to us. But they have LaMelo and Cameron Thompson. When did I say Cameron Thompson? Cameron Thomas, 19 points. And then you got Brandon Miller, Darius Baisley, Mark Williams, DFS, Bull, and D'Anthony Melton. All right. We are the higher seed here, have home court advantage, and this would be our first time getting to the conference finals in this video. Can we do it? And we're up 3-1. Can we beat them in 6 and not blow a 3-1 lead? That'd be fantastic. I know LaMelo Ball is really good in 2K, but man, I would love to see ourselves get in the conference finals finally. And it doesn't look like it's going to... Oh, wait a minute. And we are going to do it. So we beat them by 11, 26 and 25. Finally make a conference finals appearance. I think this hasn't happened for Orlando since Dwight Howard days. And we get to play the Miami Heat. So battle of the Florida teams, which is kind of interesting. So KPJ, Hero, Butler, a very old Jimmy Butler. 38 years old, averaging 14 in the playoffs. I mean, we can't lose this team, right? We can't lose to this team, surely enough. Hero must be averaging like 30. And no, 22. Never mind. 45% from 3, though. Bam, 15. And then Colin Sexton, Roddy of Pokuševski. All right, well... I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I'm just sleeping on this Miami team, but I don't look that I'm not intimidated by them. I think we should be able to beat them, but you never really know. Let's make sure our rotation's set. All right, somebody current round against Miami, and we are going to beat them with these. I had a feeling we would. Just like, they didn't look that scary on paper. But now we get Memphis and New Orleans. So which one would I rather play is the question. Now, New Orleans has lost Trey Jones and, or no. Have they lost? Or I said Trey Jones. Trey Murphy and Herb Jones is what I meant to say. And yeah, they've lost both of them, it looks like. Now, on the other hand, Memphis has... I think Memphis looks better on paper, but I think both of them are beatable. So who cares who we get? So let's see. Do we get Memphis? We do. So Memphis, Grizzlies, and Magic is your finals. All right, man. Let's see if we can get our championship. This is year number 4, so we get to go another year no matter what here. But, man, we can get it right here. Clinging it up on the Grizzlies after all. So even after they didn't get him... Looks like Portland declined his last year, and he went to Memphis like they wanted him on draft night. All right, well, game by game, we win game 1, win by 7. Game 2, we 2-0. Game 3, and I think we have done it, and we sweep the Memphis Grizzlies and get our championship, which is what we wanted. So we start this series on a bang with a championship. So Finals MVP goes to Paulo Banchero. Like I said, man, it helped that we didn't get to play Brooklyn because they kept beating us. But I think getting Zubac was kind of a game changer. It just feels like when you have a good rebounding backup 5, that like just goes a long way in 2K. But like I said, we get to go again. So let's see if we end up like, I don't know if we have a draft pick from anybody in the year 2028. Doesn't look like it. So we got Washington via Philly again. And then, well, I don't think we have a pick, or do we? So our pick ends up at 30. Again, I'll let my assistant and GM draft whoever there. But I think I'll end this off on this final season coming up. We already got our championship, which feels great. Getting it out of the way before the final chance. Again, it wasn't a final chance necessarily, but I wanted to do it within a 5-year window. We absolutely were able to accomplish that, which is amazing. So we get Paulo, I can't even pretend to know how to say that last name. Paulo Eschmeyer. Is that a real person? What is this? Year 20? I gotta look this up. This is a crazy name. Paulo Eschmeyer. Paulo Banchero versus Evan Eschmeyer. I don't know. I don't know if that's a real person. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll sign him. Player options. Go up beat. Accepting that. Qualifying offers. Tristan De Silva. Even though he hasn't been getting minutes, I guess we'll extend the offer on him. And then he's our only free agent. He's only asking for, I guess we can get him for the minimum, which is kind of crazy. I don't think there'll be many changes, man. I mean, if you look at this rotation, we're already kind of cool. So I think I'll just let De Silva come back on his qualifying offer. I assume he will anyway. Unless if someone gave him an offer, which maybe they did, which is fine because he wasn't even getting minutes for us. So I guess losing him kind of sucks. But I didn't think anybody would offer him, but whatever. I guess I should have known they would offer him. He was only asking for a minimum, or he was only going to get a minimum. But it's okay. Like I said, he wasn't getting minutes anyway. We're going into this final season, though. We got our championship. Would love to see if we can go back-to-back. That would be fantastic. But yeah, this season, no matter what, will be the last chance. Or we already got it, so it'll just be the last season. But going back-to-back would be awesome. Here's your 9-man rotation. Let's simulate this season. Let's see how it goes. And hopefully we can go back-to-back. So getting into this final season, we get the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. Here were your player stats. Final player stats. 22 from Paulo, 22 from Fox, 15 from Franz, 15 from Koa, 14 from Jet, 12 from Suggs, and then 10 from Wendell Carter. We get Cleveland in round 1, which is kind of fun because we get to maybe get revenge from, a few years ago when these teams matched up and it went to 7 in real life this past year for us. But here we go. Cleveland in round 1, who have got Cameron Johnson. They still have pretty much the same core 4, but adding Cameron Johnson to that 3 spot is kind of nice. And Capella as your backup 5 is also really good as well. But their bench kind of falls off after Capella. So, or I guess they have Nicola as well. But after that, it kind of falls off. But Somebody current round against Cleveland, and we are going to sweep them. So we get sweet revenge against them, and now we draw the Charlotte Hornets. Got Brooklyn and Miami. Now, I will tell you right now, I would love to see Brooklyn to end this video off to see if we can finally beat them. Let's see if it ends up working out that way. So we got Charlotte in round 2. They pretty much have the same team other than they added Jared Vanderbilt. I feel like they had a new... they had Cameron Thomas last year, so they don't have him anymore, I guess. But all right. So my current round against Charlotte, and we are going to be up 3-2. Can we beat them in 6? No, we're going to a game 7 with the Hornets. All right. Brooklyn is waiting us, man. Brooklyn is I really want to play Brooklyn. I'm not going to lie. We got to play Brooklyn. We got to get past Charlotte. 2K, I need you to make it happen. I want to see if I can beat the Nets finally. Come on. Let's win this game against Charlotte, and it's going to be close. Looks like we might run away with it at the end, though, and we are going to go to the finals, our conference finals. Let's go. Okay. I want to finally beat the Brooklyn Nets. They've beaten us twice in this video. It's our time to finally beat them. So Brooklyn in the conference finals. So let's see what they look like. So they have Nolan. They have Josh Giddey, Ace Bailey, Asa. Center rotation again is fantastic. All right, man. I would love to finally beat this team. Can we do it? In my current round. And we're down 3-1. Brooklyn owns our franchise, man. Wow. It's kind of crazy that this team is so good. I don't know what it is about them, but... All right, well, we might win this one. No, we're not going to win this one. So we are going to lose, which really sucks, man. Going back-to-back would have been cool. And I wanted to see if we can beat Brooklyn, and clearly our answer is no, we cannot. You know, we're down 10 with 1:24. People have told me they've wanted to see me end the video off on some gameplay. We will do that. I mean, it's only 1:25, but the game is over already. That's why we're jumping in when this game is already over. But Brooklyn owns us, man. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I got to find a way to make sure Duren doesn't leave Detroit, because it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why 2K always has Duren leaving. It's just kind of stupid. But all right, we got Zubac getting the rebound. Let's give this boy, or give this to Fox, and let's give this to Paulo. Let's see if I can just bulldoze my way to the basket with Paulo Banchero. You know what? Oh, I just got absolutely stopped. All right, Fox, come on, give. See, can I fake taking this? Ooh, okay. I think I. Foul me? All right. You know, kind of a ugly possession, but we'll take the foul. And we'll make our first one. Let's love that. All right, so let's make our second free throw. And we miss it. That sucks. Okay, Claxton. They didn't do the shaking thing that time. I was kind of anticipating it. So Nolan's got the ball, and I'm just playing horrific defense. I'm making Suggs look like a terrible defender. And what am I doing? All right. Like I said, the game's over already, so it really doesn't matter that much. But all right, looks like we're about to run a play here. So isolation. All right, we're going to ISO on, I don't even know who this is that I'm ISOing on, but I want to see if I can just bully him, and that's not going to be the case. So that was Asa Newley or whatever. So he's going to have a wide open cut, and I'm just playing terrible defense. Like I said, man, we already lost, so like at the end of the day, it's whatever, but we got to be better, man. We got to be better than that. So another ISO, is that what we're about to call? Nope, we're going to get a double screen or something, it looks like. We're going to give this to Fox, and... Okay, it was successfully executed, just didn't... Or successfully ran, just the execution wasn't there. So that's going to be it, guys. I only made free throw. I made one free throw the entire time I played, which, you know, was disappointing. But, hey, guys, we got our championship. I can't be too mad for whatever. Oh, this man's still shooting at the buzzer? What kind of sportsmanship is that? Everyone attack him right now. And, oh, I thought Wendell Carter got hurt. But, all right. I'm going to end it there. We got our championship in year 4. It sucks we couldn't go back-to-back. It sucks we couldn't beat Brooklyn either. I don't know what it was, but we could not beat that team. We got extremely lucky that Charlotte took care of them in year 4. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had fun with it. I think this was a really good start to the New Look series. But we're going to end it there. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.